Good morning, this is Jeremy with Easy Logistics. Recently we had a client approach us to look at API integrating our brokered freight rates into their third-party TMS. They were using my carrier TMS, and they had some contracted carrier direct tariffs, and they wanted to backfill them once they saw our brokered discounted pricing with some of our brokered rates that their carrier direct rates couldn't match. So I wanted to kind of walk through what that looks like and what the cost savings, efficiencies, and optimization is for a API freight rate integration into your own TMS, and why you might want to consider doing something like that. The client we were talking about is Klondike Lubricants. They approached us a couple of weeks ago. They were using my carrier TMS, which ironically is the old pricing director from GlobalTranz, new company, Mike Bookout. Actually kind of interesting that came about that way. So they wanted to, once they saw our brokered 3PL freight rate pricing from GlobalTranz, they wanted to import those rates alongside their carrier direct tariffs, because they have great carrier direct tariffs, but not every carrier is optimized to be the most economical and the most efficient in every lane. It's just really kind of impossible because of the hub and spoke system, and just you're not efficient in every single lane. It's a big country, especially if you're going US, Canada, and Mexico. Number two, this saves money backfilling lanes and rates, because not every carrier can be the least expensive in every single lane. So by backfilling or API integrating brokered freight rates into your transportation management system along your contract rates, you will always get the best blended rate in every lane for every freight shipment that you're looking for. Even if you prefer your contracted carrier rates, it just allows you a lot more options. This also allows you to save time using one interface through your preferred transportation management system, because you're not having to flip-flop and work between systems. Number four, it allows you to automate the quote, book, track operation with all carriers through one interface, which is nice. I mean, there are still a lot of people that like to shotgun quote and do all kinds of weird, inefficient things, but ideally if you can have all your carriers within one system and book, quote, and track within that system, it should greatly automate what you're doing. Number five, it reduces your human errors, because if you're not switching platforms and you're doing everything within one interface, it's a lot less complicated, and there's just a lot less possibility of creating errors within one system. Number six, it improves optimal carrier options and pricing, just because you have, by API integrated brokered pricing from a larger organization like GlobalTranz, it just allows you so many more options of carrier price and service level that you'll always have the best rates in every single lane. Even if you defer to your contract rates mainly. This was a scenario where they really liked their contract rates, but our broker pricing was just so much better in certain lanes that they weren't shipping a lot in, where they couldn't negotiate the best possible freight rates given what they were doing currently, but we've allowed them a lot of benefits and lower prices in those lanes. Number seven, enhanced visibility, because it's all going through one platform then. If we're API integrating your freight rates into your preferred TMS and it's all in one system, you can see it all within there, book, quote, track. As far as number eight, scalability without increased overhead. You can automate and run more of your logistical process without having a higher headcount, because it's all through one system and you don't need a lot of people to manage it, especially if you're using API integration or potentially AI to automate some of the processes. There's a lot of ways where, there's even ways where you can API connect, your team, our rates, your TMS into your preferred platforms where it automatically quotes, books, and tracks too. But I've talked about that in some other videos. And then, it's easy and automated once it's set up. So, it takes a little bit of time to API integrate the endpoints into your preferred TMS. But once it's all set up, it's easy, it's automated, it's one-stop shop. And, it should make your life a lot more easier, give you a lot more options of carriers, and you'll always have the optimal rate and carrier for each lane, because certain carriers are just set up to be regional or are optimized for certain lanes because that's where they're set up and that's where their infrastructure is. So I think it's a great way to blend your contracted rates and brokered pricing via API into your preferred TMS. And this is just a small example of what we were doing recently. So I wanted to kind of walk through it and give you an overview of what that was. These are things we deal with every day. If you're looking for something like this to API integrate broker pricing, backfill your contracted carrier direct rates, I can be reached at 866-854-5341 extension 3 or Jeremy at easylogisticsmanagement.com. Hope you're having an awesome week. Let's talk soon.